Live from downtown Bakersfield, 23 ABC News Midday starts now.
And good morning to you. Thanks for tuning in to 23 ABC News at 11 a.m. I'm Mike Hart.
And I'm Danielle Kernkamp. This morning, more aftershocks rattling the high desert 1 week after the two big quakes that caused damage in Ridgecrest, China Lake, and Trona.
The U.S. Geological Survey is reporting a magnitude 4.9 quake that hit Ridgecrest area just before 6:15 this morning. We spoke to Ridgecrest Police Chief Jed McLaughlin, who said there was no damage reported so far. He also said that he spoke to a geologist who said this morning's quake was an aftershock of the 6.4 quake that hit the area on July 4th. For more, let's go into the Live Center.
Yeah, we're hearing reaction this morning from Lucy Jones from USGS. She referenced one of her former tweets saying, remember, we said that the relative number of large magnitude quakes is constant and more magnitude 5s in the sequence would be normal. This morning's 4.9 is normal and it's having its own aftershocks.
And today, the Garces High School football team packed up trucks with water donations to send to the Trona and Ridgecrest communities after those recent earthquakes. The high school has been holding the water drive for a week. They collected over 500 cases of water and 300 jugs of water. Today, they loaded up a truck that will deliver the water donations. The drive was inspired by the family of one of the football players whose grandma lives in Trona and has been without water or electricity since last Thursday.
The Garces family, it is really a family. It's really unique. It's one of a kind. I mean, I don't really think any other high school is like it, how close we all are. And if one of us is in trouble or something, we're always there to pick them up. So we're one big family up on the hill.
They'll continue to collect water until the end of the day, but the last truck with water will be delivered tomorrow morning.
All right, let's get a check of what's happening outside with Chief Meteorologist Elena Rusk. Have we crossed the 90 threshold yet?
We're getting there, yeah. So yesterday we ended up only being in the 90s, so that today could be the 100s, officially starting the heat wave. You see that dry weather pattern out there. We are parched, and we're at 87 here in Bakersfield. Some 90s are popping up already in Ridgecrest, Mojave, Rosamond. Here in the valley, if that's what you were asking, we expect those in the noon hour to pop up and just keep on climbing. We're even going to see some 90s into the mountains this afternoon. So for us here in Bakersfield, 101 today. Tomorrow, 105. Quite hot. Not as hot as earlier forecast, and I'm hoping that holds. 104 on Sunday. Still scorching and uncomfortably hot out there for the weekend ahead. So as we hit that 101 about 5 o'clock, by 7 o'clock we're down to 99. Hot and dry for the beginning of the Midwest Invitational Rodeo tonight. Still at 90 at 10 p.m. so do be prepared for a warm night ahead. Similar conditions, mid-90s falling to the low 90s for the movie in the park out there at Silver Creek. They're going to be showing the third How to Train Your Dragon at dusk, so about 8:30. Tomorrow, this one's nice. It's in the air conditioning. They're showing Pinocchio for the family summer movie series at Fox Theater. It's only $5 to take the kids. 97 at noon, climbing to those 100s in the afternoon, and we keep climbing. 105 tomorrow night. If you want to be popping in and out of the shops downtown for Second Saturday, enjoy their free air conditioning. You can also head out to Twilight at Calm tomorrow, where it starts in the 100s and ends at 99 by 8 p.m.
In other news, Cal City Police is asking for your help in finding the suspects they say tried to firebomb a business overnight. Police and fire called out to the Victor Plaza just before 1:30 this morning to reports of a fire. Investigators, they believe that a Molotov cocktail was thrown against the front of the business. That small fire was quickly knocked down. Now, officials say they also found that the suspected arsonist tried to ignite natural gas lines that feed the buildings because they say, as you can see in that picture, they were also damaged. If you have any information as to who tried this, you're asked to call the California City Fire Department at the number on your screen, 760-373-4841.
A Tehachapi woman accused of shooting and killing her ex-husband appeared in court today. Wendy Howard is facing first-degree murder charges for the death of her ex-husband, Kelly Pitts, at a home off Burnett Road. She's been in custody for over a month. Today, her attorney requested previous criminal records from the DA's office regarding the victim in the case. Howard's daughter and supporters rallied outside the courthouse before and after the hearing.
Today's court hearings seem to go okay. I know that it's really important for our attorney to get the information he needs prior to the preliminary hearing and the preliminary hearing. So I was happy that the judge seemed to understand that and seemed to be in favor of him getting the information that he needs.
The next motion for Howard will be on July 22nd.
An appeals court has denied the so-called East Side rapist from appealing his life without parole sentence. Billy Ray Johnson, if you remember, was arrested in December of 2013 following a rape spree through East Bakersfield. In 2015, he was convicted on 24 counts, including rape, robbery, and lewd acts with a child. This morning, the Kern County District Attorney's Office announced that Johnson's attempt to overturn that conviction was denied. His life without parole sentence was affirmed.
This morning, it looks like the Bakersfield Fire Department's getting closer to being at full strength thanks to tax money from Measure N. Last month, it was reported that the Bakersfield Fire Department would be getting about $3.3 million from the city's new tax. This morning, BFD Chief Anthony Galageza said there will be 11 positions added to the department. Some of those will be reinstated after they had been cut earlier in the decade due to budget cuts. Among the positions added, there will be 6 engineers, along with an arson battalion chief, a deputy fire chief, and 2 dispatchers.
Through the Public Safety and Vital Services measure, the Bakersfield Fire Department is going to better assist the citizens of Bakersfield, better response times, also with the apparatus behind me that will be able to make access quickly and also protect firefighters, but better protect the citizens of Bakersfield.
In all, City Manager Alan Tandy said the city added $11 million thanks to Measure N funding. Now to an update to the alleged inappropriate activity from the owner of American Kids Sports. The Norris School District says its cheer program will no longer use the facility. On Thursday, a letter was sent to parents in the district letting them know about the situation. Superintendent Kelly Miller addressed the inappropriate activity allegations against Mike Williams that was received by the district on May 29th. Miller also said the district received a phone call from a parent sharing, quote, similar information. According to the letter, the allegations were received after the 2018-2019 Norris cheer season. Miller says the district made the decision to no longer use the American Kids Sports Center out of, quote, an abundance of caution. According to American Kids Sports Center, Williams is no longer involved in day-to-day operations.
A local girl escaped serious injury when she says an iPhone 6 caught fire while she was holding it. This is 11-year-old Kayla Ramos, who says she uses her phone to watch YouTube videos and occasionally lets her siblings play games on it. Her mother, Maria Adada, said the phone exploded and caught fire in the bedroom. She called Apple support, was told to send pictures of the device and the phone to the retailer. Apple's now investigating the cause of this meltdown.
You're not going to sleep with it next to me. I mean, like, I know we charge it a lot. I think maybe that could have cost it because you overcharge your phone. Maybe the battery overheated. I don't know. But like from now on, I'm keeping the phone on the floor, far away from me.
Apple says that if there are any issues with any of their products, customers need to contact their customer service number first, bring the item to an Apple authorized service provider, or to the nearest Apple store.
The case continues for a caregiver accused of killing an elderly patient. Here's a preview.
Good afternoon. I'm Yori Tualde. Scott Nelson will spend the rest of his life behind bars with no possibility of parole. The same jury that convicted Nelson of murdering Jennifer Fulford decided he did not deserve to die, even though that's what he asked for while he was on the stand.
Having unanimously found that at least one aggravating factor has been established beyond a reasonable doubt, Section A, that the aggravating factors are sufficient to warrant a sentence of death, Section B, and the aggravating factors outweigh the mitigating circumstances, Section D, we, the jury, unanimously find that Scott Edward Nelson should be sentenced to death. No. Dated this 11th day of July 2019 in Orlando, Orange County, Florida, signed by the foreperson.
Jennifer Fulford's family was not in the courtroom for the verdict. They decided they did not want to be present for the decision, which came down on what would have been Fulford's 58th birthday. That's the latest for now. Now back to you.
All right, still to come here at 11 a.m. Action on the high seas. Have you seen this? We'll tell you what the U.S. Coast Guard found after this unusual bust in the Pacific. Welcome back. If you love packing up your off-road vehicles and heading to Oceana Dunes to let loose, well, a decision on whether that will continue has been put off until next year. In a meeting of the California Coastal Commission yesterday, those in favor of closing the park to off-road vehicles argued that it's dangerous. It hurts endangered wildlife and pollutes the air by kicking up dust and sand. But people who are off-road enthusiasts from the Central Valley said if those vehicles aren't allowed, It will force riders to go elsewhere, and local business owners say if it's banned, that will hurt.
The OHV community is such a big part of the economic development of our area, and that's what we do. Of course, we're going to have to move because there won't be anything left for us here.
Now, ultimately, the committee decided not to make any changes right now. Those proposed changes, though, will be sent to the state and discussed again next summer. Some of the proposed changes include prohibiting night riding, creating protocols for special events, and increasing enforcement.
Dramatic video shows U.S. Coast Guard's crew seizing 39,000 pounds of cocaine and 933 pounds of marijuana valued at more than $569 million. Take a look.
That's gonna be hard to get on.
You can see the crew there struggling to get the submarine to stop until one Coast Guardsman is able to jump on. Officials say the drugs are part of a multi-jurisdictional seizure in international waters over the past 2 months. The Coast Guard found the drugs by intercepting 14 vessels, mostly panga boats and homemade submarines designed to go undetected. Officials say most were from Central and South America. The crew was welcomed back by Vice President Pence, and he went on to congratulate the crew, tell them how proud he was of them for being able to complete that seizure.
Wow.
Tropical storm Barry is slowly getting stronger and closer to land. It's still churning along the Gulf Coast, but has already lashed coastal communities with wind and rain. It could become a hurricane and make landfall in Louisiana by this weekend. Residents are taking cover as it gets closer, stocking up and preparing to spend several days stuck wherever they are. Store shelves are empty. President Trump declared a state of emergency. Louisiana's governor is taking action, activating thousands of National Guardsmen and deploying disaster response resources. We'll, of course, keep tracking that. But here at home, it's weird how it's the heat and the water all colliding. There's so many moving parts to this.
So many different things. So we have high pressure and control over the Four Corners region. And it's also very, very hot in Texas. 100s along the coast. So that heat is what's stalling Barry out. It can't really move on shore. So as it's just sitting here, it's creating all of that flooding that you're hearing. 90s and 100s for Texas. We're seeing 90s and 100s here at home as well. This ridge of high pressure is the one that's really dominating our weather. We do have some seasonal low pressure here. That means monsoon season is back for Arizona. With that, you will see the chance for some showers if you're heading out to Vegas or Phoenix or even Lake Havasu for the weekend ahead. If you're here in Kern County, this moisture is off to our east, so it may feel a little bit humid in the desert, but really we're all dealing with a relatively dry heat. And so much heat that there is a heat advisory in effect for those counties to our west and south. As you know, if you're heading out to Paso this weekend, they're expecting some triple digits, and many of those places don't have air conditioning because it's only a couple weekends a year that it gets this hot. So just keep that in mind. Make sure that you're prepared for the heat no matter where you go. Look at the winds. There's a whole lot of nothing. Calm to just single digit wind speeds, 70s and 80s for much of the valley and mountains, already 90s popping up in many desert areas. And we just keep on heating up. 100s here on the valley floor, not too far above normal. Our average is 97 for this time of year here in Bakersfield, 101 this afternoon, 102 in Arvin and Lamont, upper 90s in Kernville and Isabella, low 90s in Glenville, Tehachapi, Lebec and Fraser Park. Means much of our afternoon is in those calm and stable 80s. Then you jump to the 90s and slowly come back down. Into the desert 100s for several hours. So hot they're getting to 105 at Edwards, 106 in Cal City, 108 in Ridgecrest, and even hotter tomorrow because this high pressure continues to dominate and just bake California and the desert southwest. By Sunday, it very slowly starts to slide out of the way, so we'll see temperatures falling, not much, but from 105 to 104, and then by Monday, 100. Should get to those upper 90s early next week. That is on track for average. So again, when you hear upper 90s, it's just something psychologically about not being 100, but it's still hot out there. You need to hydrate, take it easy. Some mid 90s next weekend, that would be below average. That's a little treat that we're trying to hold on to. As for the Kern River Valley, you saw the 97 today, trying to get to 100 in Isabella tomorrow, back to 99 Sunday. Tehachapi and Fraser Park, low 90s for the weekend ahead. That's well above average for them, but there's also not a lot of wind. So we have air quality that's getting worse, and up in the mountains when the air is not moving, it just seems so much worse for them.
I like that you said that we're trying to hold on to that little treat, though, because it's so far away, it always changes. Just like Saturday was supposed to be 107.
Exactly, and I've taken it down to 105.
Exactly, so we can hope for that, too. Thanks.
Very good. Still to come, enter Sandman. Kind of. The boys of Metallica showing a softer side. Tell you about this new project that's aimed at your little ones. Coming right back.
Welcome back. Your little ones might be a little too young to be fans of Metallica, but now they can be with Metallica's new children's book. Check it out. The ABCs of Metallica will be released this year. The book is said to include rhymes and illustrations that take a look back at the history of the band. Thank you, Mike, for that background music.
You're welcome.
Like G, for example. G would be for Garage Days and M for Master of Puppets. A portion of the proceeds from the book will benefit Metallica's All Within My Hands Foundation, which helps create sustainable communities and fight against hunger. The book is available for pre-sale now for $18.99 with availability just in time for the holidays.
Send your request to mike@kero.com. Grab your boots and saddle up. The rodeo is in town tonight. Yeah, the Midwest Invitational Rodeo is going to be at the fairgrounds this evening. They'll have events like steer wrestling, calf roping, the relay race, and of course, wouldn't be a rodeo without some good old-fashioned bull riding. Tickets range from $22 to $30. Parking's free. All starts at 8 p.m. Back to Alyssa.
Well, if you take a look at today's date on the calendar and you count back 9 months, you might remember that's when Hurricane Michael slammed the East Coast. Well, one hospital is reminding everyone of that it brought extreme amounts of rain, wind, and apparently a lot of free time because University Healthcare System in Atlanta, Georgia says they have been hit with a baby tsunami after 80 babies were born in just 3 days. And if that's not enough, they brought 6 sets of twins into the world over those busy 72 hours. That
Wow.
Facebook post, they posted this picture. It went viral. People commenting, praising the staff, congratulating all the new parents. Huh, you gotta wonder.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's really cool that something so cool came out of,
those are great
such
consequences.
devastation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, congrats to those parents.
Why do you have that look on your face?
I have no
Those
comment.
nurses
No
are
comment
busy.
whatsoever. Still to come, we'll take one last look at your weekend forecast. It's so hot, a lot of people might have some
Stay indoors.
free time.
Stop that. Oh my gosh.
Coming right back. All right, let's take one last check of our forecast while Alyssa gets more familiar with Enter Sandman.
Right? She wasn't remembering
I had to
this
listen
song.
to the chorus.
Once you get the chorus, it all
I
comes
don't
back.
get it.
Next on the playlist should be Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
good one.
right.
All right.
A classic. So here's a look outside
Cue that
as we
up.
talk about some old 90s rock. We've got some high clouds coming through. If you're looking off to the east, it's making it feel monsoonal and humid. Here at home, just a whole lot of heat and haze. 101 today, 105 tomorrow, 104 on Sunday, 100 on Monday, hovering much closer to those averages in the 90s next week. Sunshine across the board. Quick note for tomorrow's 105 here in Bakersfield. That's 106 to 107 down in Arvin and Lamont. Up in the Kern River Valley, that's 100 down in Ridgecrest, 110 or possibly higher. So if
no
you're
one's
heading out there to
escaping it,
help,
basically.
yeah, it's gonna be hot.
But it's nice to see potential for some below average next week.
There's
Something
hope.
to look forward to, right?
That's going to do it here at 11 a.m. for the latest weather anytime, anywhere. Make sure you download our free mobile and tablet apps.
Have a great day.